There is no doubt, unless something is done, Social Security will be broke, and very soon. The figures for 1982 are the proof.
Last year, American workers contributed $148 billion to the Social Security pot. But adding up the checks paid to beneficiaries and what it costs to administer the money, the total comes to $156 billion. The net loss for 1982, $8 billion.
Obviously, those kind of losses can't be covered year after year. So what happens to you and me when we retire? What happens to those now on Social Security? And how do we get into this mess? The year 1935. President Roosevelt signs the first piece of Social Security legislation. Its scope is limited.
Young people have come to wonder what would be their lot when they came to old age. The man with a job has wondered how long the job would last. This Social Security measure gives at least some protection to 30 million of our citizens.
But the first few years go so well, Congress expands the program. In 1935, only workers can get Social Security. But in 1939, not just workers, but their survivors and dependents become eligible. In 1950, the self-employed are added. And 4 years later, farmers and professional people also come under the Social Security umbrella. And finally, in 1961, Americans don't have to wait until age 65 to retire. They can claim benefits at age 62. Still, the system is not in trouble, thanks to a strong economy through the 1960s. In fact, the system is doing so well, it is commonplace for people like Pat Smith and her daughter Jill to receive 2 checks. One as a survivor, the other as a dependent. Mrs. Smith's husband died 4 years ago.
With my salary and with Social Security and with some other income that we have, we're able to lead a life fairly comparable to what we had before my husband died.
By the year 1972, the Social Security picture is so rosy, the projection is, given the continued growth of the economy, Social Security would have $1 trillion in reserves in 50 years. Congress jumps on the figure, increases benefits an unheard of 20%, and ties those benefits to the cost of living. As inflation drives up prices, benefits will also increase. Then the bottom falls out. The very next year, the oil crunch hits, sending the economy into a recession it won't recover from for at least 10 years. And as unemployment lines grow, fewer dollars go towards Social Security.
Congress made some big promises in 1972 that it now has to live with, even though the money isn't coming in to enable it to pay off on those promises.
The problem now is twofold. Inflation has pushed benefits higher than expected, and people are living longer, so more are collecting, which means fewer workers to support each pensioner.
In 1945, there were about 42 workers paying into Social Security for every beneficiary taking money out. Today, the ratio is only about 3 to 1 and declining.
The challenge now is to find an immediate solution which is fair to all. Brad Ganson, News Scene 2.